Buckle up, everybody. It is time for a jam-packed midweek mini. This is Wonderland on Points, presented by Yahoo Travel. We are so glad that you're with us, and we are about to share a lot of information because so much has been going on in the world of points and miles. It's a lot of good stuff. It's really fun when actually some big deals are happening and you're like, wow, this is actually really good for us. There's so often devaluations, and we are going to touch on that a little bit. But overall, there's some pretty exciting stuff going on.
I know. I'm excited. It's been a crazy week, but mostly an exciting week. It wasn't really as devastating of a devaluation with the Hyatt stuff as I thought it was going to be. So I'm excited to dig into some of this. I think to start, we should talk about what we booked pre-devaluation.
Yeah, well, mine was thrilling. So I was looking to book Hawaii. I decided, you know what? I one time booked Hawaii, told my family we were going, and then canceled it. And it's just never been the right time. It's a long way. There's so many places in the world I want to go that it hasn't actually been near the top of my list necessarily, but my family has always wanted to go there. It is a place that people dream about going. And so I decided, you know what, before this devaluation, this is a good time. I booked the Hyatt Regency Maui, and I booked it. I thought I could only book for 3 nights. And then my Chase Sapphire Reserve statement closed earlier. I didn't even realize when it was closing. I got a few extra points and was able to book 4 nights before the devaluation. I applied a club access award that will be good when we go next summer. And I was like, yes, okay, I made it. Now let's see what's going to happen with this devaluation. Let's see how much it changes. And guess how much I saved, Joe?
$5.
About a whopping 1,000 points per night. So that, 4,000 points total I saved, which is great. 4,000 points, I can use that for something, but it was just kind of funny because different properties, some increased by a lot. Typically the highest tier properties, they're the ones who saw the biggest hit, but some places didn't. And overall, even though I didn't save that much money, it's a huge win for people wanting to go to Maui that property, which people love and enjoy, didn't change that much. It even got cheaper by about 1,000 points per night in the off season. So that property came out pretty unscathed. But how about you? What went on with the things you booked?
Well, I literally spent every Chase point that I just earned because I was panicking, which I hate. We talked about this a little bit off air. I hate the crunch time feeling of I am forced to make a decision. If I don't, the consequences will be dire because, in my head, it's like I have to book these things now or I potentially never, ever will have enough points to make it worth it ever again. And I didn't like that feeling at all. But I did it. I booked some stuff. I'm still on the fence about what I booked because it is so many points for only 3 days.
That's hard. That's hard.
It's so hard. So
hard to stomach as a budget traveler, stretching out the points.
Yes, I need them to go further. But now the thing is that it's not like I can ever put them back into Chase. They're stuck in Hyatt forever. So they have to be used there somewhere.
Okay, stop what you're doing. I am going to teach you how to get a $50 item for free, basically.
Yeah, it's for free. That literally, now it takes a little time. You got to be patient. But you spend $50 the way that we're about to tell you, and you will get $50 back. That is crazy.
This is through Rakuten, which is an online shopping portal. You can choose to get your $50 back in the form of a check or to your PayPal account. But if you are listening to this podcast, it's probably because you like to travel, and we can teach you how to get that back as points instead of cash back. And as you know, $50 worth of points actually turns into more than $50 worth of travel.
Absolutely. Famously, I was able to book a $413 flight for 7,000 points. So that 7,000 points would have been a cash value of about $70, but that turned into $400+ of free travel. And that is exactly what you can be doing with Rakuten. It is super easy. You sign up with the link in our show notes. You go to one of the retailers in the app and you place your very first order. It is important to note that these payments come 4 times a year, so you do have to be a little bit patient and wait for a payout. They come quarterly, so keep that in mind.
Joanna and I have both earned hundreds of thousands of points this way. Every single year, we're able to earn enough points that it's basically like a whole sign-up bonus for a new credit card without getting a credit card. So this needs to be in your points and miles toolbox. If you're an online shopper, make sure you're getting the most out of your shopping. You're earning credit card points, and you're also earning Rakuten points. It's a nice, what we call a double dip, stacking the savings to put towards travel. So go to our show notes. You'll find the link if you don't already have Rakuten. It is a great, easy way to rack up some points.
Now back to the episode.
I mean, there are worse places to be stuck. I feel
It's
like
true.
you will definitely, even if you don't go there, you will use up those points. And I think it's important, though, to talk about the strategy you use, because you wouldn't have had points to book really anything, but you used an important strategy to make sure you, and I think it's still relevant for people, even though this devaluation has already happened. Sometimes for status at the end of the year or next year, there'll probably be another, devaluation of sorts, trying to book before, hotels change category every year. So it's still very relevant. So go through what you did to get those points, because this is ultimately very impressive. You signed up for the Chase Sapphire Reserve like at the beginning of May like 2nd or 3rd.
The day it came out.
Yeah, by like the 17th, you literally had all of your points, which is wild.
Yes. So first of all, I don't just have $6,000 in spend that I can do this quickly, you guys. I've gotten into the gift card reselling that you guys have learned about from our previous episode. So that's been wonderful. That was very helpful. And then you, Mary Ellen, reminded me of something that we talk about for the Southwest Companion Pass, but I've never actually done, which is you can call and change your statement date. So once I knew that I had already hit the sign-up bonus and I'm just in this waiting game, the points were there. They were showing pending. And I was like, okay, maybe this could actually work. And I called and I had them change my statement closing date to the 17th. And on the 18th, I had all of my points.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So many.
So many. I'm actually struggling a little bit now, though, because I've been trying to find flights to the places I booked, and I could have actually used a chunk of points in Chase to transfer to some other people. But you know what? It's fine. Let me tell you what I booked. Okay. In May of next year, I have booked 3 nights at the Andaz Papagayo. It was $40,000 for one and $45,000 for the other 2. So total of 130,000 points for 3 nights. 3 nights.
I know, but what is it now? Okay. Now if someone wants to book it.
True. It was a much bigger jump than a lot of the properties. So now those same 3 nights would cost 175,000 points, which I would never be able to do. So between that and then a 4-night Airbnb in La Fortuna, I think that will be an incredible stay. But guys, the Airbnb, $782 for 4 nights. And if you erase that with Capital One miles, that's like $19,500 per night. And I know it's not valuable in terms of cents per point, but I care way more about cost per night and how many points I'm using and how far it can get me than I care about like, oh, this place is usually thousands of dollars a night, but I stayed here for free. Like, that's fun to say, but ultimately is not what I really care about. And this Airbnb looks amazing. There is actually one other thing I booked, and I didn't even tell you this yet, although I fear that I might.
Right.
I thought maybe I spilled the beans yesterday because I was talking about needing American Airlines miles for a flight. I sent you a voice note. You actually didn't respond, so maybe you didn't hear it. But then I realized
that is possible. My bad.
I was like, did I say the name of where I needed these points to go? I have booked for spring break of next year, Tokyo.
Oh, that's right. No, you did. I
spilled
do
the beans.
remember.
Darn
I do remember hearing a voice note. I was walking into a store and I thought, Tokyo? Since when is
Oh,
she going to Japan? I do remember having that thought, but then I got lost in the world of Sierra shopping and forgot to respond.
I really wanted to tell you that like live on the air, and I'm so disappointed that I forgot that I hadn't told you because the conundrum now is the flights for sure. But I have booked 2 nights at the Hyatt Regency Tokyo Bay. So we would
Okay.
fly in and do a day at Disney and have those
Yes.
2 nights
That's what I was
there.
going to say. That's the one right by Disney, right?
Yes, and that was strategic. And then we would go to the Hyatt Regency Tokyo, like the main really nice one in the most desirable area, the place everybody says like if you're going to go, you should go to this area. I booked 3 nights there. And then the plan is to bullet train to Osaka
Yes.
and use my fancy new home away from home credit.
Ooh.
I didn't tell you about this either.
No, I see a shiny new credit card in
Yeah,
this.
nobody can see it because we're
Nobody
not
can
actually
see
putting
this
this
but
one
us.
on YouTube. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, but I am showing off a brand new thing here. And there's a credit, and there's also a home, a property in Osaka that's part of Built's Home Away from Home program, which means it's kind of like the edit. It comes with property credits and breakfast and upgrades and all that stuff. And I'll be able to use this credit for it. Guys, while I was in Mexico, I got the Built Palladium card.
Girl.
And the reason that I got the Built Palladium card is because I had hit my sign up bonus on my Chase Sapphire Reserve, and I still had a bunch to pay for in Mexico. And my Hilton card, that is my other card that I'm working on the sign up bonus for. That one doesn't have to be done till October. I have plenty of time.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. I cannot. Let's hold for a minute. April, you got a Hilton card. May, you got a Chase Sapphire Reserve and a Built Palladium card.
I'm off the rails. Okay. But it wouldn't work. My Hilton card kept declining. Like I didn't have the physical card. I only had the tap card, and the hotel was declining it for all of these purchases. And I was like, I need a card that I can get a virtual version right now that'll work right now, that this is going to something. And I already had the email from Built saying, you are approved. Here's how you accept the card. You have till May 30th to do it. And so I very, very impulsively chose to do it. I was already thinking about this. The annual fee is a lot. It's a lot. I have more plans on how to offset it. I have so many trips coming up, guys. So there's plenty of ways to offset it. I am excited not to lose the one-to-one transfer with Rakuten. I was really excited to do my first rent payment via Built, which I did yesterday. And ultimately, I knew I wanted this card at some point anyway. So I just grabbed it like a psycho, like an absolute psycho.
This is quite a run. This is a legendary run for you. And I will say, if anyone's listening thinking, oh, maybe I'll get these cards back to back, you could. But it did work out for Joe because she actually applied for Built Palladium before she ever applied for Chase Sapphire Reserve. She got kind of in this weird purgatory with Built because of her name and different things and trying to contact their customer service. And like, it was this weird situation in that time before accepting and getting the email that she could get the Built Palladium card. She applied for Chase Sapphire Reserve. So it's kind of a freak thing that worked out, but it sounds very fun.
It's so weird because all of my credit was frozen when I got the email saying that I could get this Built card. And I've heard from other people, our friend Joy, her Built card never showed up as a hard inquiry. So I'm watching that for myself because that will maybe determine a different 524 score. So anyways, I have fully planned all of the different aspects of the trip. I just then discovered, wow, spring break flights to Japan are nuts. But you know what? There's one flight. It's got 6 seats left on it as of yesterday in economy. It is 35,000 American Airlines points to get there, and it leaves from St. Louis. But
that
I
is
only have
crazy.
I have 8,000 American Airlines miles. So now I'm in this bizarre, like, what do I do? Do I just try to start buying a bunch of gift cards on my American Airlines card? Do I try to get the American Airlines business card? It comes with 65,000. That would be enough to get me those 2 flights, but that's another sign-up bonus,
Yeah.
another credit card. It is a business card, but I'm still like,
You've
I
got
don't,
time, though. You've got
unless
time.
it sells out.
I feel like you have time. We're gonna figure this out. We have until next year spring break. At this point, you've missed the like 1 year out kind of magic window.
Yeah.
So I feel like other opportunities are gonna pop up.
Yeah.
So in the interest of time, though, we're gonna keep going because this is a midweek mini, and
Sorry.
we have something super exciting to tell you about, and that is something related to all these new Chase Sapphire Reserves that me and you have gotten. But if you have a Chase Freedom card, Chase Sapphire Preferred card, there is a brand new payment platform, is what I'm calling it, called PAZE, digital wallet. I've seen that term used. It is a way to pay at a variety of retailers, kind of like you did with, say, PayPal or Apple Pay or Venmo. If you're using your Chase card, it is free to sign up for. If you're using your Chase card, you get a 10x multiplier on top of whatever that you were going to earn. Okay. So this is big. You hear people a lot already talking about United flights. I don't pay for flights with cash. I don't know that I will ever actually use that opportunity, but it would be a 14x multiplier because it's 10x for the using PAYS, and then you already got 4x on the Chase Sapphire Reserve, I should say. Let me qualify that, not necessarily on your other cards, but because there's a 4x multiplier for buying flights on the Chase Sapphire Reserve, it would be 14x, which is insane for buying a flight.
Yeah, I haven't dug into it yet. Mary Ellen's done all of it. She's going. She's tested the waters. It is legit. It is working. It's actually on my list for today to get it all set up. People are having some issues with certain cards popping up. It seems like they haven't quite worked out the kinks, but the real game changer, in my opinion here, is the fact that it can be used at a place called Newegg. And that is going to probably be an unfamiliar place to almost everybody here. The reason that I find it familiar is because some of the gift cards that I purchased for the gift card reselling were from Newegg. I bought $600 in Disney gift cards to resell. If I had gotten a 10x multiplier on that, I would have been very, very happy. I was working on a sign-up bonus, so that is also amazing. But you snagged a super sweet deal through Newegg, and you're going to keep doing it to fund all your groceries.
Yeah, I have become very addicted to Instacart. I'm just going to say it. Now, I use it at Walmart that claims that the prices are the same as in-store prices, or I use it at Aldi, which already has lower prices than my regular nearby grocery store. So that's kind of how I justify using Instacart. But Newegg has Instacart gift cards. And so I plan to pretty regularly buy Instacart gift cards and then load them up in my Instacart account. And then I'm going to be earning, it's an 11x multiplier, 10 for it being pays, 1 because that's what you would get on Newegg all the time. So it comes out to an 11x multiplier on my groceries that I feed my family. Like you mentioned, they have Disney gift cards. They have Airbnb, Southwest Airlines, Delta Airlines. They have other various restaurants, Olive Garden, Chipotle, random things. That is huge. Now, this whole PAYS deal, it also works at Dunkin', at Domino's Pizza, at Sephora, a variety of retailers, and the list is growing. Now, this whole deal all ends, this 10x multiplier does have a timeline, and it's at the end of this year. Right now, they're saying December 31st, 2026. That's when we lose this multiplier. So this is kind of a 6-7 month period where we can earn it. Oh, gosh. Didn't even do that on purpose. An insane amount of points by utilizing this. And then the other thing to note is there is a cap on what you can earn and what you can spend. So it's paying with PAYS for $1,500 a month. So it caps you at about 15,000 points, Chase Ultimate Rewards points, each month that you can earn. But that is massive. I don't think that I'll be able to max that out, but if I did, wow.
Yeah, I plan on sitting down and trying to spreadsheet my way through like how can I really truly maximize this, whether it's something to do with gift cards, maybe. I don't know. I'm just really excited to dig into it. We would also like to know how many of you, after listening to that gift card episode, are interested in diving into that. I want to know. But moving on from all of that, there's one other very fun thing for getting multipliers on gift cards. You have a genius trick, and we wanted to wait to see if it would work before we reported back. But if you have DashPass, you have which comes with multiple cards, but Chase Sapphire Reserve is the one that is most notable because it is still elevated, you guys. You can still get the 150,000 Chase points. So valuable. Even post Hyatt devaluation, they're valuable because it wasn't that bad. But if you have DashPass, you can get 10% off of gift cards. And you have come up with a little trick of how to get a better multiplier on those gift cards.
Yes. So 10% off of gift cards is great regardless. That is a really good deal. And people think, oh, DashPass, I don't know. That's kind of like one of those Chase Sapphire Reserve benefits that you're like, is that really that valuable? The way they break up the credits per month. But 10% off of gift cards is valuable, especially like for me, a local gas station is on there. So I can get 10% off my gas on an ongoing basis now, which is massive. But if I don't actually use my Chase cards, if you have a City Strata Elite, this is a special little nugget for you guys. We have city nights every Friday and Saturday night, starting at 5 p.m., 6 p.m., whatever it is, till the next morning. It's city nights. You get a 6x multiplier on restaurants. DoorDash counts for that 6x multiplier, and DashPass gift cards that you have bought count. They will code for the 6x multiplier. So when I buy gas now, I'm going to get 10% off the gift card that I buy for my gas at Sheetz. That's the gas station near me. And then I earn a 6x multiplier on my City Strata Elite, which I can use for American Airlines, which I could use for Choice Hotels. A lot of great transfer partners there. So this is something you can only buy 4 gift cards a month at 10% off. So there are limits there. There's a cap on the amount of money. So there's little things like that. But overall, this is a really fun high multiplier. So I am loving all these ways to maximize my earning potential with the PAZE multiplier, with this, gift card thing through DoorDash and City Strata Elite. A lot of really cool opportunities.
All right, guys. Well, we've gone long today, so this is it for today. I wanted to mention that there is a link down in the show notes. If you remember, last year over the summer, we did our summer road trip series, and that was a big hit. You guys loved these little mini road trip destinations, so we are doing it again. If you have a fantastic destination that you didn't hear last year or you've done since last year, go ahead and fill out the form down in the show notes. We would love to hear from you and potentially feature your destination. Don't worry, you don't have to come on and do an interview, but we will shout you out and tell everybody that you are the one who gave us this destination if you want us to. Make sure you're following us all of the places. Make sure you're checking the show notes for our Chase Sapphire Reserve links. We so appreciate when you use these links, guys. It gives back to the podcast in such an incredible way. It makes us feel so special. Thank you all for listening, and we will see you here next time.
Thank you so much for joining us for today's episode. We hope you learned something new and feel inspired to plan your next trip.
Remember, we're travelers sharing our experiences, not financial advisors, so always do your own research and make informed decisions.
If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow so you never miss a Points and Miles tip.
We'll see you next time on Wonderland on Points.